The gun that has become completely extinct in the last 2 weeks. 2 civilian sales, the Glock 19 Koa Aimpoint Glock collaboration. We have a 3.5 MOA dot on this bad boy. We were able to get a hold of one from Guns GDC for the initial review. And it is a shooter so far. Let's put it through the paces.
I'm a millionaire, baby. Try to change my way, now I feel ready, now I feel ready. I'm a millionaire, baby. Will find myself, baby. Try to change my way, now I feel ready.
Well, folks, we were able to get one. The Glock A-Cut Koa edition. Phil, from having a blast with the USCCA, Guns GDC, Scott and Dave were able to get us a Glock 19 Koa A-Cut. We purchased this gun. They're very difficult to get. Now, if you have not heard, Glock discontinued civilian sales on the Koa model for an undisclosed amount of time. There's a lot of speculation as to why that was. We wanted to get one to run it through its initial testing. It's a Glock and an Aimpoint. They're probably gonna run pretty good. But more importantly, we're going to shoot it today, and I'm gonna give you my opinion on if you're missing out and you should spend the extra money to pick a gun like this up, which is now retailing 2 times over the initial MSRP. Let's talk about the gun. Glock 19, chambered in 9mm, Gen 5. 4-inch barrel. Let's talk about specs of the Aimpoint. 3.5 MOA dot, super crisp. Just when we got out here, it's pretty sunny today, full front sun. We turned that dot brightness up. That was a complaint in some of the reviews, was the dot was not bright enough. I'm not running into that issue right now at all. I feel like it's more than bright, even with the sun being directly in our face. Closed emitter, meaning we don't get a lot of dust debris inside of there, which we do with the open emitter red dots on our pistol, so something that we don't have to worry about. Being that it's an Aimpoint, should be super durable and rugged. What sets this apart from other red dot Glock MOS mounted pistols is the mounting system, that A-cut there. As we can see here, we have 2 set screws that go into the rear sight. That'll wedge lock the Optic into place there. 50,000 hour runtime on the Aimpoint, which is a huge increase over the Acro P1 and 2. The battery life was always a complaint for those, so being that this is sort of the newest line in the Acro series, that's a huge upgrade for this. So what we're gonna do today, take it out, we're gonna shoot a few drills with it, give you my initial impression on, is it worth chasing the price of the Koa, or is it better off just getting a Gen 5 MOS for retail and throwing your red dot of choice on there? Let's go hit the range and put some rounds through this gun. All right, guys, so it's supposed to be zeroed from the factory here. We're gonna put first rounds through, make sure we're good. We're using Gen 3 mags here. This is cool. We got a little black dot drawn on the target there. That is pretty dialed in. Let's go headshots. Cool. We're able to use Gen 3 mags. They should work all the way up to the Gen 5. Pretty smooth so far. So now what we're gonna do is work dot transition. See how my eyes track with this dot, having a smaller window than what I'm used to shooting on an RMR as far as width is. So let's grab the gun belt and holster, work some draws and dot transition.
You give me a chance.
We're running El Prez here on the clock and talk about dot tracking. Cool. 803 with a Charles. For Alpha, let's talk about the dot tracking. Coming from the Trijicon RMR, a little bit of a wider window. The Koa actually is a little bit taller of a window and slender than the RMRs and other red dots that aren't closed emitters. I don't find that that is hindering the way that I'm shooting the dot. This over here is just Phil being Phil and throwing a Charlie, as we always do in the videos, but I'm not gonna keep reshooting it until it's perfect just for the camera. And then we had 2 good groups here for alphas. I think the dot tracks really well. No issues so far. We're gonna go shoot some doubles now, being that this is a taller dot window. I wanna see if we can keep that dot in there as the gun is recoiling, shooting a little bit faster. Let's do it.
I'm a millionaire, baby.
All right, here's what we're gonna do now. Couple sets of doubles from the holster, see how that dot draws and tracks, and then we'll just shoot some doubles from the high ready and see what it's doing so I can diagnose. We'll go on the clock just for fun. 167. 160. Nice. 2 shots out of the holster, 10 yards on a, I don't know, 10-inch popper. So we'll go high ready now just to see what the dot's doing, give a little diagnosis. Cool. All right, let's talk about it. So the dot on the gun, it doesn't jump super out of my sight window, as I would say. So what I'm looking for when I shoot a dot is when that gun recoils, that the dot doesn't leave my sight line, and then I have to track it down again and find it, which is super cool when you get a dot that when I'm shooting it, the idea is that the red dot, it's going to move in my vision line, but I see it the whole time. So whether it goes up and then back down, I still have visual of the red dot itself, meaning it's a minor adjustment rather than shooting goes out of my sight line. Now I'm looking for the dot again, and then I gotta find it, then I gotta line it back up. So I'm taking one step out of that so long as the dot will stay in my sight line. So tracks really nice. I like this gun and the dot so far. Now, as we always do in these individual reviews, we're not gonna do a full torture test quite yet, but the durability of the Aimpoint Koa, as with most of their optics, should take gentle beatings on things. So we're gonna go back to the 40 and give it a little knock around, make sure it holds a 0, and then we'll close it out with extreme accuracy. Something fun for you guys. We'll be close to the 40-yard line here. We're limited on distance at the range today. We're in a pistol bay, 40 yards, not too shabby. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna give it a little knock test on the optic. So the gun, clear and safe, okay? Oof, breaks my heart. Okay, see if she's still holding. Cool, still holding. Let's knock it a little bit more. Clear and safe, hammered down. Cool. So a little bangarang, held a little 0, Rufio style. Now we'll just do gun is clear and safe, hammered down. Just a shoulder height drop test. Right on the aim point. That breaks my heart. Oh. Now, see if she's still holding. Cool, 4 for 4 at 40. Now, we know that's not as hard as we've run some of these guns through, but we're gonna break it in first before we break it. To close this out, extreme accuracy. All right, just for fun, Ticonderoga. Young kids probably don't even know what that means anymore. We're gonna just try it. Why not? Extreme accuracy number 2 pencil, Glock 19 Koa. It's getting tough to see at that distance. Let's see if we still got it. Well, I hit the tape, so I didn't actually hit the pencil. Oh, after further review, I actually did hit the pencil first shot and blew it in half and then shot the tape after, sending the pencil into Ticonderoga. The gun is actually more accurate than I am. Extremely impressive for the Glock 19 Koa. Let's go close this out. And that is it, folks, for our first look at the Glock A-Cut Koa Gen 5 19. Are you missing out if you did not get one of these? I personally don't think so. It is a great gun. It's a Glock and an aim point. I've had this Gen 3 Glock with the RMR cut on it for probably 15 years now. This gun has tens of thousands of rounds through it, and it runs all the time. It's my everyday carry. If I was new to shooting and I had the extra money and I wanted something that out of the box was plug and play, I pull it out, it's zeroed, and I can shoot it well, this might be an option for you, but be aware you are going to pay close to 2 times the MSRP as of right now, the filming of this video, and as these get more scarce, you're gonna end up paying more and more as become what I would consider a collector's item. But I wouldn't feel like I'm missing out. This Glock allows you options to change the dot, to change the brand of optic that you run. Say you like to run a 6 MOA dot, you can do that on here. With the Koa, we are stuck with that 3.5 MOA dot. I personally like the smaller dots for more accuracy, but again, I don't feel like this warrants a huge price increase over something like this. If you know what you're doing, that you can customize this a little bit more. So that's just my opinion on this gun. I think it's a great gun. It's a Glock and an aim point. You can't ask for 2 better companies to do a collaboration with. Unfortunately, they pulled them, and I'm hoping it all gets sorted and they can offer these to the civilian market again in the near future at that MSRP. I want to thank Guns GDC, Scott and Dave over there, getting us set up with this gun so that we could actually do a review for you guys. And I want to thank St. Joseph County Conservation and Sportsman's Club here in Michigan. We could not do these reviews without the help of these companies and ranges, so thank them again. And before you go, click the link in the description box below. There's a USCCA concealed carry map. That's a great tool for you to show where you have reciprocity for your CCW, CPL in states that you travel to and from. Put down in the comments below if you think the Koa is worth the extra cash now. And we got a ton more videos coming your way. We'll see you next time. It's kind of like making a fried chicken batter, but with a gun. This one's gonna be a doozy. I don't know, boys.